To save my species, I had to become a monster the galaxy would never forget. A massive door whispered open, granting passage to the shadowy corridor. The imposing figure stepped through, acknowledging the swift salute of the sentinels with a curt nod. His path led him down sterile, echoing hallways filled with the taste of recycled air. During his walk, he contemplated the universe's fundamental truth. Conflict was an aberration. It was a default setting of sentient life. Somewhere, at any given moment, one being was always trying to eradicate another. This eternal struggle was the one universal constant, a dark comfort that told him his own fierce desires were not unique. While minor skirmishes were endless, every so often a war would ignite that reshaped everything. 2 weeks prior, such a cataclysm had begun. Today, this seasoned commander intended to uncover the secret to winning it. He passed through another portal into an antechamber, met by 2 more guards. "I am here to see the captive," he stated, his voice like sharpened steel. "Sir, we received no notification of your visit." The lead guard responded, "Access requires specific." "I do not justify my actions to subordinates," he cut in, his tone dripping with disdain. "Unseal the door, deactivate all surveillance, and depart." The guards exchanged a hesitant glance. After a silent, tense moment, they saluted, decided the order was legitimate, and powered down security feeds before moving to leave. "When shall we return, sir?" the leader inquired, pausing at the threshold. "I will summon you. Until then, I am not to be interrupted." With a final nod, they exited, sealing him alone in the chamber. His focus was locked on the reinforced barrier ahead. Strangely, the temperature seemed to plummet. For a second, he thought he saw his breath miss in the air, but he dismissed the sensation with a grunt. His objective lay beyond that door. With determined strides, he approached and opened it. "Have your people forgotten the courtesy of knocking?" A woman's voice asked from within, speaking in flawless, aristocratic dialect. "I announce myself to no one," the warrior stated flatly. "You have lived as our guest long enough. It is time you repaid the favor." "Your famed hospitality is truly overwhelming," the woman purred. "You wish to understand the Terrans." The warrior stiffened almost imperceptibly. "How could you know that?" he growled. "I have my ways," she replied, a sly undercurrent in her voice. "The humans struck first. They killed your revered leader. Now war's upon you." She emerged from the shadows. Her quarters were vast, a suite of 7 rooms hidden in a secure facility on the fringe of the Star Empire. She existed in a gray zone, not quite a prisoner, but a secret that could never see the light of day. Alit Kalen. "I thought I recognized that voice," she smiled, an expression devoid of any warmth. "You have fought the Terrans before." "I require your analysis," Kalen said, forcing calm into his tone. "I was under the impression your warrior caste viewed them as insignificant. That victory was, what? A matter of months." Her mocking smile remained. "They are unremarkable," Kalen conceded. "Their vessels are sluggish. Their weapons cannot find their mark, even at close range. Our own fire cuts through their hulls like a blade through vapor." "How fortunate for you," she said with audible amusement. She retrieved a bottle from a low table and poured a deep amber liquid. The pungent, alcoholic scent disgusted Kalen. He felt it was deliberately meant to. "Let me share a truth with you," she said, settling onto a long divan. "This war will not be over in 3 months. The humans are unlike any foe you have ever faced. They do not surrender, not even when all hope is extinguished." She gestured to a chair. "Sit." Kalen moved slowly, taking the seat while scanning the room. It was austere, the same dull hue as the corridors outside. Data crystals, scrolls, and old books were piled haphazardly. Wall screens were framed by handwritten notes, the frantic scribblings of a brilliant trapped mind. One object stood out, a framed orbital image of a vibrant blue and green planet hanging opposite the screens. She noticed his gaze. "Kalon," she named it, a whisper of longing in her voice. "My home, lost but never forgotten." "You possess the capacity for such sentiment?" Kalen asked coldly. Her eyes hardened. "Do not insult me, warrior," she snarled. "I love my world and my people. That love outweighed every other consideration. To ensure their survival, I would have committed any atrocity. When extinction is the only alternative, morality becomes a luxury. You will learn this as you push against the humans. We will scorch their worlds and shatter their fleets. Kalen replied with a predator's glare. When we are finished, the word human will be a footnote for historians. Like the name Varadi? She countered. She took a slow sip, letting the silence stretch. If you are so certain of triumph, why have you come to me? I am a strategist, Kalen said. A true strategist knows his enemy intimately. We have reports from other sources. But to truly understand an opponent, you must learn from one who has faced them. So, the rising star of the Stormdrake's clan seeks my counsel, she grinned. You wish to learn their methods, then deliver stunning victories, to build your legend and climb. Chieftain Kalen has a certain weight to it, doesn't it? I want to know how they wage war. He ignored her jab. I want to know how they defeated your empire with inferior technology. Their tactics, their tenacity, all of that is secondary, she stated bluntly. Their methods are not as important as their motive. They did not defeat us through superior tech or strategy, though they were cunning. They were effective because they fought for a cause they believed was just. What cause? To vanquish what they saw as ultimate evil, she answered. To halt the genocide. To save other races from us. To end the Varadi threat. She took another drink. Now! They fight for their own survival. They will make you pay in blood for every inch. If I desired your philosophy, I would dictate it to you. Kalen snapped. I want tactical facts. The arrangement that keeps you here is not my concern, but I can have you transported to a neutral zone within the hour if you prove uncooperative. Such brittle pride, she sighed. I will aid your quest for glory, alit Kalen. In return, I ask you to remember this favor. A debt to be called in later. Her smile widened. Besides, it has been too long since I told my story. I find I am looking forward to it. Kalen remained seated. It seemed he would have to endure her theatrics to obtain the intelligence he needed. A small price. Begin. At the very start, she answered. To comprehend how the humans won the Varadi War, you must understand that entire era. A drink. He sneered at the offer. Her smile turned mischievous in response. Placing her glass down, Anya Vex, the Widowmaker, last of the Varadi, began her tale. It truly began 25 years ago, on Kalon. Everything was different then. Even I was different. Kalon, heart of the Varadi hegemony. Anya observed the small, furry creatures in the transparent enclosure. The alien merchant had claimed they were among the galaxy's most resilient life forms. To her, they looked utterly ordinary, but the experiments would reveal the truth. These Rigels would be novel test subjects. She activated the monitors. The Kalon Institute of Sciences was lavishly funded, and as its top xenobiology student, Anya had access to its finest resources. As screens flickered to life, she retrieved her latest serum from the cryo unit, a new formula designed to decelerate cellular decay in her people. The pursuit had consumed her since childhood, watching her mother wither from a rapid aging syndrome. For 5 years, she witnessed a decline while physicians offered only helpless apologies. At her mother's graveside, young Anya vowed to find a way to cheat death. From that day, she and her brother dedicated themselves to science and the service of the Varadi species. She examined the golden liquid in the vial. For months of work, distilled from hundreds of botanical samples. Was it her destiny to grant her people eternity? A faint smile touched her lips. She would learn nothing by dreaming. With precise motions, she loaded the vial into the injector and administered the serum into the Rigel's habitat. For a moment, nothing. The creatures sniffed the air and continued their scurrying. A flicker of hope. If it was non-toxic, she could proceed to volunteer trials. Then disaster. The Rigels began shrieking, sprinting madly around their enclosure until they collapsed, breathing in ragged, shallow gasps. Anya's frown deepened as biosensor data scrolled, massive neurological cascade failure. One by one, their life signs flatlined. She cursed softly, then compiled a full report. concluding the formula required significant revision. She messaged the biocontainment team for disposal and turned back to her analysis. She didn't get far. With a sudden bang, her door burst open. Her twin brother, Aaron, stumbled in, his eyes wide with panic. "Anya," he shouted. "Sister, I'm here," she called out, raising a hand above the lab equipment. "Our meal isn't for another 30 minutes. Sister, look at this." He waved a thin flexi-screen printout. "Tell me I'm going mad." She took the sheet from him. They had been inseparable since birth. Partners in mischief, then partners in scientific excellence. She in biology, he with his head forever in the stars, charting celestial patterns. She scanned the data, recognizing it as stellar analysis of their sun. Several values were alarmingly elevated. "What is this?" "A study I was running on our primary star. There were reports of strange atmospheric refractions. I thought it might be flare activity or magnetic shifts, but these numbers, they show something else entirely." He was breathless, the printout still warm from the terminal. "The magnetic field," she pinpointed the anomaly. "It's becoming inert. Static. Worse. It's acting as a bottle trap for radiation and stellar plasma. That's what's causing the atmospheric anomalies." Aaron pointed at a string of figures. "It's building up, sister, like pressure in a seal vessel." "How is this possible?" She shook her head. "This defies every model." "I know, but I verified the data 8 times. Our sun is changing, and that isn't the worst part." He produced a data chip and slotted it into a wall display. "This is a projection based on the current data. It models the long-term effect." Anya watched as the simulation displayed their sun growing intensely bright around its equator, text scrolling to indicate a buildup of superheated plasma. Then, with terrifying suddenness, the containment failed. A cataclysmic burst of energy erupted. The readouts refused to quantify the yield. It was a stellar-scale detonation. The effect on Kalon would be absolute. "By the ancestors," she breathed. "Time frame, approximately 15 years, Aaron replied. 15 years? Her voice rose to a shriek. 15 centuries will be too soon. 15 years. "I know, but the simulation doesn't lie," he said, desperation clawing at his words. 15 years until all life in the system is eradicated. She fell into her chair, utterly shattered. All her work to prolong life was now a cruel joke. Her entire species had less than a generation left. The scale of it was incomprehensible. "We must present this to the science directorate immediately," she whispered, voice hollow. "I've already requested an emergency session," Aaron said. "Please come with me. You know I'm terrible at speaking to councils." "Of course," she said, gripping his arm. "You're certain of the measurements?" "Of course I'm certain," he wailed, the stress stripping years from his demeanor. They were still so young. "I meant no insult," she soothed. "But this is the most consequential discovery in our history. Our species' survival depends on the response. It must be flawless." "It is, sister. It is. The ancestors help us. It is true." "Then find your courage, brother. We must make them see. We are the last generation of Varadi to live on Kalon. Think on that. All our history, our legacy, it ends here. But our people do not have to end with it. 15 years is little time, but it is not zero. Perhaps we can find a countermeasure. Or evacuate to our colonies." "Evacuate? How? What can we do in a decade and a half?" Anya fixed him with a gaze of iron resolve. "We will do whatever the universe demands to ensure our legacy survives." She pocketed the data chip. "Come, to the directorate. Every second is now a resource we cannot waste." Still in her lab coat, Anya led the way out of the building toward the ornate halls of the Imperial Science Directorate. In her pocket rested the future of the Varadi and the bloody destiny of the galaxy. The Directorate was, in name and fact, the pinnacle of Varadi scientific achievement. 50 esteemed figures sat in a high tier above a small presentation floor, where Anya and Aaron now stood. Aaron activated the holographic projector and presented his findings. The council listened in utter silence. When he finished, the quiet stretched, thick and heavy. "So what will you do?" Aaron finally demanded, breaking all protocol. The data you present, a deep voice boom from above. It is an impossibility. Aaron Gate, I assure you, high scientist, it is accurate. It is not. Such stellar behavior violates known physics. You are mistaken. Then verify it yourselves, he shouted back, frustration boiling over. We do not allocate resources to wild fantasies, the lead scientist stated dismissively. The fate of our world is at stake. Aaron yelled, You can't ignore this. Anya stepped forward, calming her brother with a touch before turning her fiery gaze upward. You are fools to dismiss this based on his youth. He has never been wrong. This data is real. And when did you earn your credentials in astrophysics, Ms. Vex? The leader mocked. As I understand, you search for fairy tales, a potion for eternal life. Scattered chuckles echoed. It is only your ancillary medical work that grants you tolerance here. Aligning yourself with these hysterical predictions may force us to reconsider your position. Do not threaten us into silence, she snapped. This is reality. It will not vanish because you choose to be blind. We are dismissing more than just data, the leader said coldly. Leave. I expect a full summary of your actual work by dawn. So we may decide if you remain at the Institute. Now get out. It is not a fantasy. Anya underscored, her voice cutting. 15 years from today, our world dies. We have a narrow window to act, but only if we begin now. We are acting, the leader replied. Our action is to expel you from this academy. This is a place for serious minds. Leave, or I will have security remove you. Anya gave him a look of pure venom. Their arrogance, their insulated worldview would doom billions. So be it, she snarled. Then you can burn with this world. And as the fire scours your flesh, may your final thought be that you had the power to stop it, and you chose pride instead. She snatched the data chip and stormed out, Aaron hurrying beside her. The idiots! She raged in the hallway, drawing stairs. The damn blind idiots. They'll roast for this. Sister, please. Aaron guided her into an alcove. He had never seen her like this. A volcano of fury where there was usually cool, analytical ice. There must be another path. What path? She spat, glaring at him. Without the directorate, we have no credibility. We'll be branded alarmists, imprisoned for inciting panic. Our people will die, and we will be powerless to save them. Her scream was one of pure desperation. We go to the public nets. We force the truth out. Aaron said. Before he could finish, a large man approached. He wore the deep indigo of the Varadi Naval Intelligence Branch, his posture rigid with discipline. He stopped beside them, receiving Anya's hostile glare. What do you want? She snarled. To arrest us for disturbing the peace? I was in the chamber. I heard you, he said flatly. Of course. And now you wish to ensure our silence, she laughed, a hollow sound. You'll have to kill us. I do not fear death now. We are all dead already. So do it. Make me a martyr. She spread her arms wide. Why should I wait for the inferno? The officer's expression didn't change. I am not an assassin. We need to speak. In private. He glanced at the gathering onlookers. I represent the Admiralty. Any potential threat to the hegemony, however unlikely, must be examined. He gestured toward an exit. Shall we walk? Unless you prefer to remain here. Ignored? Anya fell silent, studying his face with deceit. Would this end in a quiet cell or a genuine audience? The man's face was an unreadable mask. Aaron moved first, nudging his sister with a look. He headed for the door. The officer allowed the ghost to smile. I believe you will agree, Miss Vex, that we have no time to waste. Kalon cannot afford it. That statement decided her. Here, at last, was someone who would listen. She nodded curtly and followed. They walked along a manicured greenway outside the Institute. The sun was gentle, the air sweet. A crystal-clear stream bubbled beside age-old buildings. Anya absorbed the serene beauty, each detail a knife in her heart. This was all doomed. Let us sit. The officer gestured to benches beneath an ancient, sprawling tree. They sat in the dappled shade. Across the stream, a group of young naval cadets laughed with students from the Institute. enjoying a picnic. Life oblivious. My name is Commander Vorik, he said. My apologies for the abruptness, but discretion was necessary. Do you believe our evidence? Aaron asked directly. More than that. I know it is true, Vorik said. Naval intelligence has been aware of the stellar anomalies for some time. Aaron tensed, but Anya gripped his arm. Let him finish, she hissed. We knew. We anticipated an external discovery, though not this soon. Your work is impressive. Impressive? Aaron seethed. You knew the world was ending and said nothing to the Directorate? They are civilians. They do not need to know. Let them remain in their blissful ignorance, Vorik said with dismissive wave. An ignorance that just cost us our careers. Aaron shot back. The government can offer you new positions. We have extensive research facilities covering astronomy and xenobiology. You would have ample resources. Military labs? Aaron nearly laughed. Charting hyperspace lanes for invasions? Using my sister's genius to engineer plagues? This is your offer. It is, Vorik stated. You would have significant autonomy. I am aware of your personal projects. He glanced at Anya. He knew of her anti-aging research and was offering her the tools to continue. I guarantee you may pursue them, in addition to working on strategic initiatives for us. And in return, we stay silent. Anya concluded. If you've known and told no one, and you monitored the Institute, you clearly wish to contain this knowledge. Precisely, he nodded. Your work will be classified, known only to the highest military and government tiers. You'll follow security protocols, live within designated facilities. In return, you can conduct your research and, more vitally, play a role in the salvation of our species. But we cannot warn our people? Aaron asked, aghast. They have a right to prepare. Vorik didn't answer immediately. Instead, he looked across the stream at the carefree picnic. Imagine you went over there now and told them the truth. Suppose they believed you. What happens? He asked. They'd try to leave. Gather their families, get off-world, Aaron said. And go where? The outer colonies. Would they report for duty tomorrow? Would the power plants be staffed? The farms tended? Well, no, Aaron admitted. Multiply that by 10 billion. Vorik said softly. What happens when every spaceport becomes a riot? When civilization collapses because everyone is fighting for a seat on the last ship out? You wouldn't need to wait 15 years for our end. It would happen in 15 days. That is a bleak calculation, Anya observed. But an accurate one, Vorik countered. The knowledge you hold is a more immediate existential threat than the dying star. It must remain contained. And them, Aaron nodded toward the laughing group. What becomes of them? When the time is correct, we evacuate, not before. We must prepare logistically and psychologically. Transplanting a civilization cannot be a frenzied stampede. Could we not seek aid? Aaron suggested. From the Galactic Concord, we have treaties. Treaties? Vorik smiled bitterly. They use us, we use them. If they perceive us as weak and fleeing, our economic value vanishes overnight. Our currency would collapse. Rival powers would descend, picking our technology and colonies clean. If we show vulnerability, we will be dismantled. Perhaps, Aaron conceded. They have always envied our advancements. Without the means to defend our holdings, they would be lost. You've absorbed the state broadcast well, Anya chided. Would you like to know why we promote that narrative? Vorik asked. Because soon, our needs will directly conflict with our neighbors, the League of Sovereign Worlds. We need our populace united, motivated, and distrustful of outsiders. So when the time comes for the necessary action, there will be no dissent. What action? Aaron pressed. Our colonies, Anya answered, seeing the horrifying puzzle complete. They are insufficient. Correct, Vorik confirmed. Even distributing our population evenly, the infrastructure could not support the influx. Billions would perish from starvation and chaos within weeks. Then, how many can we actually save? Aaron's voice was small. It is not over, Vorik said, his voice firming. The government has a plan to preserve our entire people. by relocating them to worlds that already possess the capacity to sustain such numbers, Anya stated, the grim reality settling in her gut. Established planets, with cities, agriculture, industry already in place. Where? Aaron asked, confused. The League, Anya whispered. Exactly. You are as sharp as your dossier indicates. Vorik allowed himself a thin smile. I thought we weren't asking for help. Aaron's face twisted in disgust. We aren't asking, the intelligence officer stated flatly. We require habitable worlds. Therefore, we will take them. We will invade the League and claim their planets for colonization. Aaron was speechless once more. Anya's mind raced ahead, cold and logical. They will resist, she said. We have begun a military expansion. In 8 to 10 years, our fleets will be overwhelming. Speed will be critical. We must clear the indigenous populations efficiently to make room. Clearing needed no elaboration. They were discussing planetary-scale genocide in the peaceful afternoon shade. You have methodologies for this? Anya asked, her voice clinical. We have concepts, projects you could assist with alongside your other work. It is for the survival of the Varadi. Never forget that. Aaron finally found his voice. So that is the strategy? Conquer a dozen star nations and seize their homes. It is the sole path to preserving our species in the time we have. Vorik said, there are no alternatives. Join us. And if we refuse, Aaron challenged, then nothing. You'll be discredited, destitute, and powerless. This is not a threat. It is an offer of purpose and a chance to save your people. Was that not always your goal? To elevate the Varadi? It was. Anya had always sought to propel her species to greatness. Every experiment, every late night, was for them. Now, their need was absolute, and she stood at the crossroads. My transport is waiting. Vorik stood, nodding toward a sleek black vehicle at the edge of the grounds. If you accept, come with me now. If not, I wish you well. He began walking away, back into the sunlight, the same light that would one day become their executioner. Well, Aaron whispered, do we trust him? There is only one logical path, his sister said. We go with him or we fail our duty. He offers us a chance to make the ultimate difference. Don't you see? He has given us hope. Hope? We must conquer a galactic coalition. How? We are Varadi, she said, her voice gaining a fierce, proud edge. Conflict is in our blood. We will prevail, but speed is essential. You can plot faster jump routes for our fleets. And you, sister? He asked, accusation creeping in. What of your contribution? He spoke of mass extermination. Could you truly do that? Yes, she answered without a flicker of hesitation. If that is the price for our species' continuity, I will personally exterminate every other thinking being in the cosmos. She held his gaze, her eyes like frozen stars. You know the stakes. Whatever is required, we must do for our people. History will name us demons. No, Anya smiled, a chilling sight. History is authored by the victors. We will be victorious. And when we are done and our people are safe, there will be no one left to write otherwise. She looked once more at the picnic across the water. Would those young cadets live to see the new worlds? Would they father children who would never know Kalon's son? Sitting here, they faced certain death. In war, they at least had a chance. She stood and walked toward the vehicle, her resolve absolute. Behind her, Aaron sighed and followed, as he always had. She paused at the vehicle's dark door, looking down at the green grass springing back under her boot, breathing in the scent of cut lawns. This was worth fighting for, worth any price. She entered the cabin. The Anya Vex who cared for nothing but science died on that grassy field. The one who entered the vehicle was someone new. She did not flinch as the door sealed with definitive thunk, plunging her into artificial darkness and cold. The Widowmaker smiled at Kalon, who had listened, stone-faced. She set her glass down firmly. It was the day my race's destiny was sealed, and almost none of us knew, she remarked. You'd think such a moment would shake the world, that the skies would darken in recognition. But life went on. The government, now a tool of the War Council, fed the public a steady diet of propaganda. They stoked xenophobia and nationalist fervor, molding the youth into perfect, hate-filled soldiers. Conscription was met with cheers. She nodded slowly. It was a masterwork of social manipulation. Within a decade, we had an armada and an army that despised all non-variety. The seeds were sown. We only had to reap the bloody harvest. Yes, how utterly noble, Kalen said, boredom in his tone. So how did the humans stop you? Are you not listening? She snapped. To defeat them, you must first understand their why. It is deeper than a tally of battles. If you wish to learn, then be silent and listen. Kalen's expression darkened with fury, but it passed. He was hooked and she knew it. A small power, but power nonetheless. She smiled. If you found this descent into a tragic, monstrous logic compelling, show your support. Please like this video and subscribe to Winds of Thought for more deep dives into the darkest corners of science fiction and history. The line between savior and monster is often the width of a sunbeam.